And if you're talking about negotiating with the Soviet Union or negotiating with North Korea or negotiating with Iran, and you end up with a win-win outcome, this means you gave a win to Tehran, these evil, human rights abusing, hegemonic bad guys who have an insatiable lust for nuclear weapons. And so that ends up being a very difficult domestic political hand to play, even if analytically, even if substantively, it's a very sound argument and a very sensible policy. Anyone else? I thought I saw one more. Yes, sir. This may be the last one. We're running out of time.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your speak. I'm Jung Hyun-bae from Purdue University, and I have one follow-up question about the Iran deal. So I recently heard that the post-President Obama administration admitted that the U.S. had used hacker in order to manipulate the Iran's enrichment facility, right? And then I heard that the post-President Obama administration admitted that they ever manipulated the Iran's enrichment facility in order to manipulate the the operating system, right? And then I heard that they literally blew up. Have you heard about that?
You're talking about the cyber attack?
Yes, right, exactly.
Yes.
And then here is my question. So how do you think that kind of approach can be the solution for the North Korea's nuclear crisis solution?
Well, I didn't touch on, but it is a known element of policy that sabotage and covert activity are an element of coercive non-proliferation. In the case of Iran, there have been, I think, at least half a dozen assassinations of key scientists. This became an issue because the IAEA wanted to interview prominent Iranian nuclear scientists, and the Iranians refused, and of course people said, well, Iran has something to hide, and this is why they won't do it. And Iran said, whenever you identify one of our scientists, they end up dead. So we don't have much incentive to let you have access to these people. The speculation is that this was Israeli activity, but nobody really knows. There have been other mysterious explosions at Iranian military and WMD-related facilities. Just the other day, a Syrian scientist was assassinated, a missile engineer, the leader of their missile program. And then there have been these cyber attacks, and the most famous one was called Stuxnet. It was launched by the Obama administration. It's thought in collaboration with Israel against Iran's centrifuge enrichment program. And it did, in fact, do some damage. It destroyed at least a few hundred centrifuges. But it turns out that it was a very costly exercise to develop the cyber weapon. These are kind of one-use weapons because once you've used it, the other side can figure out a way to defeat it, protect themselves against it. And my recollection is that the estimates are that the Stuxnet attack set Iran back a few months. So that was a minor benefit from the point of view of slowing or preventing progress in Iran's case, but it was not a solution to the larger problem. Now, the more sensitive people grow to the cyber threat, the more careful they are about insulating their critical facilities from vulnerabilities, right? And so it may grow, the attackers may grow more sophisticated, but the defenders may grow more effective. And it's a kind of offense-defense arms race in the cyber realm. I personally don't think that it's a prominent long-term remedy for the challenge of non-proliferation. And among other things, there's always the risk that nuclear programs that are under siege, that are being attacked by their opponents in one way or another, sabotage, cyber, etc., will simply go underground. And then it's very difficult to destroy that which you don't know about. And this has been one of the worries about North Korea, the enrichment program that it revealed to the world obviously existed for some time before we knew about it. There were suspicions, but there was no real knowledge because it was hidden in a cave somewhere and we didn't know where it was and we weren't sure that it existed. So how do you use cyber or anything else against that? So there are lots of complications in that story. But if you're interested, there's a substantial chapter in David Sanger's book, Conceal and Confront, which is an account of security policy in the Obama administration. He has a whole chapter on the Stuxnet attack on Iran's nuclear program. With that, I think we've gone beyond our time, so I'm sorry if there are other hands, but we probably need to stay on schedule.
Thank you very much, Professor.